Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. In my previous video, I showed you how I made these daily pages myself for October 2021, and I will leave a link to that video in the description box. Now I am ready to fill in these pages for October with information that I already have now. I've been back to using day on two pages since about July of 2021, and I do not really have a weekly plan with me. I never did. But let me show you here the process that I go through when my daily pages for the incoming month is already prepared. First, I take out these little envelopes that contain my side reminder tabs, and then I go to the monthly spread for the incoming month, and in this case it's October. The first side reminder tabs to be glued on are the ones for due dates because those never change. Every Wednesday I have to reinvest something online, and these tabs with the letter K on them will serve as reminders every Wednesday night. Now for the glue, for the tabs that never get rescheduled, I use this glue pen. The brand is Shands. I'm not sure if you can see that. This is legit glue, but in a pen form, and it lays down a reasonably thick line. Imagine your Uniball Signo Broad white pen. If you have that pen, the line that white pen puts down is the same width as this glue pen. This is the most convenient pen for me to use to stick the side tabs on here because the space is too narrow, as you can see. And that's for every Wednesday. In case you're curious about how I plan, I have an explanation video in my channel and I will link it down below. At this point, you will see me folding out the tip ends for the weekly task sheets. The purpose of that is so that my view of each week on my planner will be separated by these fold outs. Having these folded out will make it easy for me to see where to stick the side reminder tabs because I always start sticking them at the top. You will see what I mean as we go along. Next, I refer to the October monthly spread again to look for other things that I need to tab, such as the day when I have to get my laboratory tests done. It's just the regular tests that I go through every month or 2 months in connection with my thyroid condition. I have to submit the request first to the HMO, and they take 3 days before approval. So if the lab test should be on the 29th, the request should be submitted to the laboratory on the 27th because it's the laboratory is the one that facilitates the approval of the HMO because the lab also has to sign some stuff. There is also a special side reminder tab for medical related tasks, you can see here. But for the medical, this is actually not set in stone. In my experience, sometimes these things happen a day or two earlier than scheduled or a day or two later than scheduled. So to make the side tab removable, I am going to use this Zig Kuretake two-way glue. I just lay down a thin line right on the back side of the tab and then put them aside to dry. If you stick the paper together when the glue is still wet, the bond of that will be permanent. But if you wait a few minutes for the glue to be dry and become a clear color, that's the temporary bond that makes the glue restickable. So I put these aside to dry. I have a due date for a bill on the 15th of October. This is a very small credit line that I am trying out. It's actually very convenient and the interest rate is teeny tiny because the credit limit is very small. I've used this credit line to purchase a bunch of books that I need for my thesis, and it also came in handy when I suddenly needed a new power bank for my cell phone. So the due date for that is every 15th of the month. So I put that down there. I'm not a fan of using credit, but if the credit limit is very small and the interest rate is very small, I can use it for what I need. Only for what I need, for urgent things that I need, but for things that I want, I save up actual cash for it and then I buy when I have enough cash. And then this is the side reminder tab for that due date. It's the wallet icon. And because that due date will not change, we are using the Shands glue pen for it again. No need to make the tab restickable. Note that I am putting it on the second spot so that when the pages are closed, the two tabs for that week won't be on top of each other and I will still see all of the tabs in line with each other. And then I realized that instead of flipping back and forth to that monthly spread, I can just take out the pages and then put them to the side so I can refer to them while working on my daily pages. Well, I knew I could do that, but brain fog sometimes gets the better of me. Incidentally, I do have a section on my planner that helps me deal with brain fog and anxiety. It is my process section. I have a video about it, which I will link down below in case you're interested. Another due date I have is my Google Drive. I'm on the paid version, so I just write that down and then put on the tab to signify that that's an online payment. I'm putting that tab on the third spot on the pages for the week. On the 22nd of October, I should be getting my revenue from YouTube. I don't get that every month, but when I do, it's a happy day. And I opted not to get the money through my bank or via an e-wallet. I prefer to go to the remittance center and get the money in cash, in Philippine pesos, in person. That's always how I have done it. When the pandemic started, I considered changing it to a bank transfer transaction, but since this only happens once every 2 months, I decided to keep it this way. Thank you so much for all your support, for watching my videos, for leaving thumbs up and comments, and for sharing the videos with your friends and groups. Because of you, I have an additional income every other month. This helps me purchase the materials that I can use to make more content for you guys. That task of getting my revenues in person is an errand. And here is my tab for errands to remind me that I have to physically go out of the house on that day. So that day can also be potentially an errand day in which I can lump together all of my other essential tasks, do all of them quickly as I can, making sure to go to places that are not so crowded and during times that are not crowded, and finish everything as quickly as I can and then go home. On the 4th of October, that is the cutoff for the small credit line that I mentioned. I always note down the cutoff for all bills because on the next day, that's when the actual bill will be generated and I will know the actual amount due, which I also note down as you can see here. The due date is on the 15th, so I have 10 days to come up with the money, but of course I can send in my payment anytime from the 5th to the 15th. On the week of the 11th to the 17th, I am considering making my daily pages for November. But because I am not sure yet exactly what day I am going to make them, except that it will be on that week, I write down that task on this weekly task sheet as you can see, and that is really the main purpose of that fold out. And the foldouts actually did not have any writing support, so I just brought in my commonplace notebook to put underneath. I made this disc-bound notebook myself and I have a little video about it which I will link down below. On the week of the 4th to the 10th, I have to renew the registration of my car. I call her Pilita. She is actually not really mine, not even named to me, but I am using her exclusively, so I am responsible for her upkeep and her papers. I have other things noted on my monthly pages. I have to finish writing chapter 4 of my thesis, and it is also the deadline month for that fellowship on migration that my thesis advisor wants to recommend me to, but I plan to submit this month, September. I do not really wait for the actual deadline to submit anything. That is one way that I can limit my stress. I submit early and then I don't have to obsess about missing the deadline. I'm also considering getting a maintenance haircut on the 4th. I think I need to get a maintenance trim every 3 weeks because my hair grows really fast and it's more noticeable with my spiky haircut. I get my hair cut by Joe Wide's barber and I have a video about 2 of those haircuts and I will leave a link down below. And by the way, I always just use a pencil on my planner. I do not use anything else. Pencil through and through. That's still because of brain fog. I keep making mistakes, and so using a pen will just stress me out. And I'm perfectly happy using mechanical pencils. I use the zero point 0.5 pencils and the 4B leads so that I won't have to press down too much and the line is going to be darker. I also needed to change some entries on the monthly page because I misunderstood the information the first time. Yet another reason for me to appreciate writing with a pencil. And then I write in the correct info on my daily pages as well. And then on that same week, I also have to ask my sister about that matter because she's helping me manage that. See here, I'm flipping through the weeks by using the weekly task foldouts. This way, I do not have to flip through the actual days if I need to go to a specific week towards the end of the month. That is another convenient accidental use for the foldout. When I made these pages, I forgot to put in the holiday for October 31. That is a national holiday for Undas, or what we call the Un Día de los Todos Almas y Santos. And it's funny because in my previous video in which I was making these pages, I was following the instructions on my process sheet. And I said I was sure I didn't miss a step. Turns out I did. I forgot to put in the one holiday we had for October. I can just print out a small box and then paste it on here later, but for now I will just pencil it in and not worry about it. But I did flip to the page for September 17th and wrote down a reminder to myself that I have to put the holiday on the page for October 31. It is now September 22 as I'm editing this, and I can proudly say that I did that task as scheduled. But I no longer filmed it, unlike what I wrote down on my YouTube box, because I wanted to put up a straight video for a change. I also have a note on my October pages that October is the last month, the final month to avail of my warranty on the LCD repair of my laptop, but I wanted to make a decision on whether I was going to avail of that or not in September. So I also wrote that down on the weekly task sheets for September. For this week, actually, I haven't decided yet. I don't think I need it. So for the most part, all of the information that I have at the moment have already been placed on the daily pages for October, and I can put the monthly spread back in its place. Now, just to show you, these monthly sheets have been on here since the beginning of July, and the holes are all ratty. This is 100 GSM paper, and since I have done a review of the 115 GSM paper, which I believe is stiffer aside from being thicker, I think my next batch of monthly sheets will benefit a lot from using that paper. But for now, the monthly sheets that I already have on here will have to do. They're perfectly fine. The papers do not pop out of the discs anyway. They still stay in place very securely. And by this time, the side tabs for the medical tasks are already completely dry, and I can now put them where they should go. See, this here is a little lopsided, so I just peeled it off and then restuck it. Easy peasy. But when I was editing this video, I realized that I put the tab on the wrong day. It should have been on the 27th, not on the 26th. Brain fog is real, you guys. But because I'm using restickable glue, I can easily move that tab later. And then there is that other one. And now I can finally put these little envelopes back on the discs. I have penciled in a tiny number to remind me where each envelope should go. We can finally fold in these weekly task sheets. And here is the monthly spread for November ready to go. And that is my plan with me for October 2021 with information that I know now. I will write more on these pages as I go along and find out more and make more decisions on what I want to do and need to do. And that is my little video for you today. I hope you enjoyed. And I have more videos about my disc-bound planner journey in my channel. Please hang around and check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye.